Changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical.
U.S. President Donald Trump has threatened to take legal action against the BBC over allegations of misleading editing of his statements. Trump's lawyers have given the BBC until November 14th to issue a full and fair retraction of the documentary in question. Otherwise, they warned the broadcaster could face a lawsuit worth $1 billion. According to an internal BBC memo, a Panorama documentary merged two separate parts of Trump's January 6, 2021 speech, misleading viewers into believing he was explicitly calling on people to attack the U.S. Capitol following his election defeat. The controversy has led to significant consequences at the BBC. Director General Tim Davie and Director of News Deborah Turness have both resigned over the incident. In her departure statement, Turness strongly emphasized that the corporation is not institutionally biased. Pressure began mounting last week after the Telegraph newspaper published a memo on this issue by Michael Prescott, a former independent guest advisor to the BBC's Editorial Standards Committee. Following continued discussion of these allegations, both the Director General and Director of News submitted their resignations on Sunday. The memo also raised other allegations, including problems with BBC's Gaza coverage, anti-Trump and anti-Israel bias, and one-sided transgender reporting. The Panorama editing issue was highlighted within these concerns. On Monday, BBC Chairman Samir Shah acknowledged that a misjudgment had been made in the documentary and that the edited speech gave the impression of a direct call to action. He stated that the BBC would apologize for this. In his January 6, 2021 speech, Trump actually said, "We're going to walk down to the Capitol and we're going to cheer on our brave senators, congressmen, and women." However, in the Panorama program, he was shown saying, "We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight like hell." The two segments that were spliced together were actually more than 15 minutes apart in the original speech. The BBC received Trump's letter on Sunday demanding an apology and appropriate compensation for the president. Trump's lawyer, Alejandro Brito, has accused the BBC of making false, defamatory, derogatory, and misleading statements about him, also bringing defamation charges under Florida law. In a letter to the committee, Mr. Shah revealed that the BBC has received over 500 complaints since the memo was published. He explained that the Panorama editing was discussed in January and May of this year as part of a broader review of the BBC's US election coverage. Shah stated he had been told by BBC News that the intention of editing the clip was to convey the message of the speech, so that Panorama viewers could better understand how President Trump's supporters received it and what was happening on the ground at that time. British Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer's spokesperson said the Prime Minister does not believe the BBC is institutionally biased. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch stated the BBC has needed to answer serious questions for a long time. Liberal Democrat leader Sir Ed Davie accused Trump of wanting to destroy the BBC and take our money, while Reform UK leader Nigel Farage claimed Trump asked him, "Is this how you treat your best ally?" President Trump has a long history of taking or threatening legal action against media organizations. Before this, CBS News settled for $10 million in July, and the New York Times, CNN, and the Des Moines Register have also faced Trump's legal actions.